All right, so we're going to take a deeper dive into the S&P 500. Now, this video follows on from my previous video where I explained what the S&P 500 is. So if you haven't watched it, I'd highly recommend you watch it first. All right, so the S&P 500 is made up of 11 sectors. So you have sectors like tech, consumer discretionary, financials, communication services, industrials, materials, energy, and real estate. You also have sectors like healthcare, utilities, and consumer staples. Now, these sectors are divided into two groups. So the ones on the left are called cyclical sectors, and the ones on the right are called defensive sectors. Now, what do we mean by this? So a cyclical sector is a sector whose performance is sensitive to the economy. So this means when the economy does well, these sectors tend to perform very well. And a defensive sector is a sector whose performance is not tied to the economy. Now let's look at a practical example to help us understand this concept. So we're going to compare Apple to Unilever. So Apple is a cyclical stock and Unilever is a defensive stock. So when the economy is doing well, people are more likely to buy more iPhones, more MacBooks, more iPads, and other luxury products. But now, let's say the economy is headed into a recession. People tend to cut back on their spending, particularly on luxury products. But now, a company like Unilever that sells essential household products. So whether the economy is doing good or bad, people still need to buy food, they still need to buy toiletries and other essential household items. So defensive stocks tend to have stable earnings because they sell necessities. Now, which type of sector is better to invest in? Cyclicals or defensives? Just a quick recap. We said cyclicals. This is a sector whose performance is sensitive to the economy. And defensives, this is a sector whose performance is not tied to the economy. So we're going to compare a cyclical sector, the consumer discretionary sector. We're going to compare it to XOP, which is the consumer staple sector, which is a defensive sector. Right, so if you were thinking cyclicals, you would have been correct. Because since 1999, the consumer discretionary sector has had a return of almost 800%, whereas the consumer staple sector has had a return of 189%. So cyclicals tend to outperform defensives. All right, so to round off this video, here's another look at the cyclical sectors. Right, so you have the tech sector, consumer discretionary, which is the one we've just looked at now, financials, communication services, industrials, materials, energy, and real estate. So people can just buy these sectors individually. You can choose to just invest in any of these sectors individually. You can just choose to invest in tech or just choose to invest in financials. So these are the banks, the insurance companies, or you can just choose to invest in the consumer discretionary sector, or you can choose to buy the individual stocks within these sectors. Okay, so it's really up to you. But if you're a beginner, it's better to just buy the sector as it is. You can just choose to buy the tech sector or the whole financial sector or the whole consumer discretionary sector. Hopefully this video has been helpful, and if you have anything you'd like to learn about the stock market, financial markets, feel free to drop it in the comment section. All right, see you in the next video.